I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser guide, and I would say it is the best Mordekaiser guide out there right now. I have given out every single piece of information that I could think of. Absolutely anything that I use, I gave out in this guide. Explaining mid to late game stages, itemization, runes, combos, absolutely anything and everything I could think of. Even video matchups. And some of these video matchups go on to be 20 minutes or longer, just for that one particular matchup. Currently, there are not all top lane champions in video format, but over time I will add more and more of them. This is also where the tips and tricks section of the matchup spreadsheet went, in case you were all wondering. As part of the agreement, I had to move it to this guide exclusively. Every other guide I have is still completely untouched, and the rest of the spreadsheet on top of the mobafire guide is still also the same on the Mordekaiser side. If you want to check it out, you can use the link in the description, and you can also use the code Federals20 if you want to purchase absolutely anything on the page, and you will get a 20% discount. With all that being said, please enjoy this video.
My howl heralds war and death.
Personally, I don't like this matchup. Gnar can do too much into you and he's super safe. He even took fleet footwork here, so it's going to be even harder for me to catch up to him. And if you pull him in, he might just hop away with his E. There's also the fact that if you get poked down too much when he Mega Gnars, he just straight up murders you in melee range. So you have to watch out for that as well. If he actually rushes his tier 2 boots, it is going to be even harder to catch up to him. You can do the same, but it'll still be difficult. He can go boots of swiftness or plated steel caps. If he goes swift, it will be considerably tougher. Generally, try to play it slowly and maybe look for some pull angles. There are times when you might be able to get a kill off of it. In the early game, especially, Mini Gnar's auto attack range is lower because it scales with level, so you might just be able to pull him in, and then when he hops away, he might not gain enough distance to make a difference. Later on, it's gonna be much more difficult to do this because he's going to get so much more movement speed from his W when he procs it. You also have to watch out for him Mega Gnaring in the middle of the fight, because if he does, you might actually lose it. Typically, I rush boots of swiftness or plated steel caps, and then I go into stride breaker, and afterwards it can be something like Dead Man's Plate or Sterax Gauge or something else for the enemy team.
To the slaughter. I reject the delusion. This war is just beginning. Go. This will be your grave. Here, I am an executioner.
has been slain.
Wrong side.
Has destroyed. Has slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed a turret.
To kill.
Your team has destroyed
Couldn't survive the chaos.
an enemy has been slain. Legendary. Double kill. Victory.
I really enjoy playing this matchup, and this is because I like to rush Spear of Shojin into Jax, and I feel like that way you can actually beat him out pretty reliably once you get it. Early on, Jax can always Q your Q. Up until level 7 or so, he's always going to be able to do it. Your rank 1 Q has a higher cooldown than his rank 1 Q, and then at rank 2 of your Q it's gonna be the same cooldown, and at rank 3 you have 1 second below him. So around level 7 is when you can kinda start to Q and he won't be able to dodge it out. At least not if you get that second Q in. Jax can also go for 2 different setups. He might play more passively and go flash TP with Grasp of the Undying, which is what this Jax did, or he can go flash Ignite with Lethal Tempo and look for a lot of kills on you. Lethal Tempo Jax with Ignite has a huge amount of kill pressure, so you have to respect it way more than you think. And he might look to short combo into you all the time by just doing an auto W, and he will always beat out your auto W because he actually maxes his W first. He can also counter strike to dodge your W, so you have to keep that in mind as well. But you can buffer your W onto him if you use your W at a super precise timing, and then it will kind of still go through the counter strike. You basically cancel out his stun a bit by using your W animation in the middle of the stun, but this won't always work. You can also use your E to push him off of you when he actually jumps onto you, or to dodge his counter strike stun. But the issue is that if you use your E too many times, you will always run out of mana. The best course of action in my opinion is just playing it slow and getting to your Spear of Shojin. And once you get there, you will start to 1v1 him so much more. And this is because of the ability haze that Shojin gives you. Transcendence combined with Shojin will allow you to Q him 2 times every single fight, and that is absolutely huge. Let's say the first Q misses because he jumps onto you, that won't really matter as much because you will always be able to get a second Q in, and also a second W because your Q and W will be the same cooldown at the rank 5 Q. And then on top of that, Axiom Arcanist with the Spear of Shojin damage will be absolutely disgusting. So you will basically one-shot him the moment you hit those 5 stacks. You can fight him even before Shojin, like if you get an early kill, but that is the safest point to wait. Once you get that Shojin, just start fighting him from full health, and if he ever jumps on your head, you will always be able to get 2 Qs, and then you can ult his head off and he dies.
Enemy double
saw Echo on the minimap, so I knew I was dead here either way. So instead of giving the kill over to him, I gave the kill to Jax. At least this way he doesn't get an assist, and I don't care if Jax takes the kill. It's better on Echo over Jax in my opinion.
This is just beginning.
An enemy has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
It's war and death. All life will be reforged in violence.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Liberated. Death to the king by my hand.
I should have just saved my flash here, it wasn't worth it to use it. There's no objectives coming up for at least another 2 minutes, so I won't have my flash up, and them killing me doesn't actually give them anything because again, there's no objectives. It's not the end of the world, but I could have had my flash for the next big team fight on Dragon or Baron.
Triple kill. A summoner has disconnected.
Blood.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna be Zac top lane or Jax top lane. I assumed it was gonna be Jax because it makes more sense over Zac, but apparently it was Zac top lane. This lane is actually not as simple as you'd think. His burst, especially at level 6, is really high with his ultimate, and he has Ignite. If he also had Conqueror, he would have had even better 1v1 power. You also have to constantly play the minigame of killing his blobs. That is the way he regens most of his health. But it will still be difficult to actually kill them, especially when he ults, because he's gonna knock you back, and then the ultimate will make it to where he will spawn so many blobs. And then his W also gets lowered on cooldown every single time he picks up a blob. So that means you will need to constantly kill them as much as you can. And that is also why I rush Executioners in this lane, just to be able to actually make it to where he can't heal as much when he actually does pick them up. You obviously won't be able to kill all of them, so this makes it much easier. Another thing you have to keep in mind is the fact that none of his crowd control is actually reducible. His Q, E, and ultimate are not reducible by tenacity at all. So Mercury Treads won't do anything into him, because his E is a knockup and so is his ultimate, and his Q is kind of a pool thingy. His team fighting ability is also huge, so what I recommend is just split pushing on side lane. But you also have to be wary of the fact that he can just jump from the side lane when he's in Fog of War, and then he can kill all of the minions instantly, and then push you back into his turret with his ultimate, and that may result in you dying. Most of the time that can end up happening, and it is very frustrating when it does. You can use your E to cancel his E, but you have to be ready for it. What I like to do is rush Spear of Shojin into him, and this is because you will get huge true damage on that ultimate. and it'll allow you to proc him into his passive really well. After Shojin, I can go for something like Mercury Treads if the enemy team has more crowd control, or maybe even something like a Styrax Gauge, Stride Breaker. Even Force of Nature is especially good into Zac, because even though you can't actually reduce any of his CC, every time he does crowd control you in any way, that Force of Nature will get 2 stacks. So you will get it much faster, even quicker than a champion like Brand or Malzahar, I'd say. Their comp also had a lot of melees with Jax, Rel, and Zac. So if I want to, I can actually skip Stride Breaker second and go for something like Styrax or Force of Nature and just play for more frontline on my team, as opposed to trying to get to the Draven or Mel, especially since Mel is really difficult to get to.
Chose the wrong side.
This trade forces him to recall or I straight up dive him. He actually does end up staying and I do get the dive off.
Where will I put all these heads?
I actually tried to hold a freeze here, and what he ends up doing is going to proxy. And that is really smart because it means I can't stop him. I have absolutely no bonus movement speed. I have a very small window where I can actually go and try to stop him. But still, it's very good that he did this. I wanted to actually flash on top of Zac here and try to ulti him. I was thinking something like flash auto ult, but I wasn't sure if that would actually kill. So I ended up not doing it. And then I tried to recall, but Zac looked to deny it. And that is when I actually flash on top of him and kill him.
Killing spree.
Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
Night is falling on the old world. You won't live to see the new one.